Welcome to Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Trevor Brew and Tommy Morris with you. Yesterday, a big trade goes down in the NFL. Tommy, Kiko Alonso from the Bills headed to the Eagles for star running back LeSean McCoy. Tommy, what are your initial thoughts on this trade? Do you think that either team will come to regret this, or do you think it's a good move for both teams?
Yeah, I think the Bills will definitely come to regret this. I think this is a genius move here by Chip Kelly. Look, running backs don't have a long shelf life. They use... I hate to say it, but they kind of used up all the good years of McCoy already, so might as well get rid of him now. It's kind of a mean thing to say, but that's kind of what happened. They get Kiko Alonso. Yes, he's coming off injury, but linebackers can play into their 30s. Running backs can't. So I like the move by the Eagles. What do you think, Trev?
Yeah, I agree with you. And even though LeSean McCoy is 27, I think a big indictment of the value of running backs in this league in today's era is that it really all depends on the offensive line. I mean, you look at McCoy, he averaged about 4 yards this year, whereas he averaged 5.9 the year before when the Eagles' line was healthy. I think the bigger issue here, and the reason why I don't like the trade that much for the Bills, and I do like it for the Eagles, is the Bills still have absolutely nothing at quarterback. They probably have the most dire situation in the league at quarterback. Their offensive line is so-so. They just had to sign Richie Incognito trying to patch together an offensive line. So between not having a quarterback and having a so-so offensive line, teams will just be able to stack the box against someone like McCoy. And what we've seen in the past is no running back is going to succeed the way someone like DeMarco Murray did this year when they don't have a good offensive line and the box is stacked against them. So I think this is a great move by the Eagles. You also look at the salary implications. I mean, they save, I think, collectively between they're going to be able to cut D'Amico Ryan at linebacker with this addition of Kiko Alonso, and the amount they save on LeSean McCoy. I think they're going to save somewhere around the range of $10 to $14 million this year. They could go out and get someone like DeMarco Murray, get someone like there's so many running backs available right now. We talk about Adrian Peterson
right,
potentially.
And the big elephant in the room, literally giant, Ndamukong Suh is a free agent. They got a lot of cap space now. Might want to think about bringing him in, draft a running back maybe. Running backs are easy to find in the draft, so you don't necessarily need to get a big name.
And Tommy, we've talked about this before, with the devaluation of running backs in today's league. You look at someone like Justin Forsett. The Ravens lose their supposed star running back Ray Rice last year, and Forsett has a career year when he's really been nothing in the league beforehand. So I think that kind of shows the direction the league is going with running backs. Another thing that's kind of interesting with this trade is I think you have two coaches who kind of think they can do whatever they want on that side of the ball, with Chip Kelly on offense and Rex Ryan on defense, both kind of saying, I don't need my star player on this side of the ball because I can plug any player I want into this system and make it work. Would you think that's kind of along those lines?
Yeah, I think that's true too. And I think part of it, you have to go back to, there's a little bit of animosity between LeSean McCoy and the team when he wasn't doing so hot at some stretches through the year. I think that might have something to do with it. Maybe he wasn't as happy there as we were all led to believe. So I think, we saw Deshaun Jackson be given the papers to walk. So I think it's kind of like that too. If you don't buy into the system, you're not going to be an Eagle.
It will be interesting to see, while I do think it's a good move on the Eagles' part, the pressure is really on Chip Kelly now. It's definitely his show in Philadelphia after the front office changes in the offseason. He's pretty much gutted the entire offense. The only thing I would say that I have an issue with the trade is with the way some owners and some GMs value that sexy player, that sexy name to get fans in the stands, i.e. the Cleveland Browns with Johnny Manziel. I'm thinking that the Eagles might have been able to get more than Kiko Alonso, and maybe not. Maybe teams weren't that's just that big on a running back, but it seems like you might have been able to get someone to bite for more than a guy coming off an ACL surgery.
Yeah,
that's
but
all
Kiko Alonso was basically a legend. I mean, he was like, they were treating him like he was a god in Buffalo. I mean, this is not some normal guy. This was a fan favorite and a guy who's barely been in the league. So I think that is a pretty high price tag. I would take that over pretty much anyone in this draft. I mean, you got a guy who's one of the more dominant rookies when he was a rookie a couple years ago. I mean, this could be the best linebacker
I'm just saying,
in the NFL
coming off an ACL injury, you're not completely sure if everything. I mean, obviously he's got to pass physical, but Chip Kelly loves his Ducks. Now this will be the 9th Oregon Duck on the roster. Most of them are special teams players. But do you think that's an issue, Tommy? The amount of Oregon Ducks, or do you like that Chip Kelly's going?
I don't know.
With
can they get LeGarrette Blount too? I mean, I don't know what his contract situation
and we'll
is.
See.
Patriots, but
I guess what we'll have to wait and see is if Philadelphia is done making moves, because Marcus Mariota is going to be on the board. Do the Eagles try and move up and make a move like the Redskins did for Robert Griffin a few years ago, or do they stand pat? So we'll just have to see if the Eagles are done or not with their moves.